The rain poured like a curse from the heavens the night they took everything from her. Zuri didn't scream. She didn't beg. She didn't even blink as her father dropped to the floor, lifeless, the metallic scent of blood drowning the air. The men who stormed their home weren't petty thieves. Their movements were clean, precise, professional, not a wasted breath, not a wasted bullet. They were the Crimson Circle, the most feared mafia organization in East Africa. And the man leading them was ice carved into human form. Tall, broad shoulders, sharp jaw, eyes like winter storms. His presence swallowed the air around him. Elias Kage, the underworld's ghost, a man people swore didn't exist. Yet here he stood, in her father's living room, boots dripping rain and blood. He looked at Zuri with a calm that terrified her more than the gunshots did. "Your father made a mistake," he said quietly, like someone commenting on the weather. But he made an even bigger mistake trying to run. Zuri wanted to hate him, but her body betrayed her. His voice sent a chill through her bones, a mix of fear and something she refused to name. "Kill me," she whispered. Her voice didn't shake. She didn't know if that made her brave or broken. Elias stepped closer, his boots crushing shattered glass underfoot. "I don't kill assets," he murmured. His eyes scanned her, calculating, dangerous, unreadable. "Your father owed us. The debt is now yours." Her heartbeat tripped. "Debt?" Her voice cracked. "You murdered him." A faint, dark smirk tugged at his lips. "You still think the world runs on justice." He circled her slowly, predatory, unhurried. "You will work for me," he said. "The only reason you are still breathing is because you're more valuable alive." She swallowed, hard. "And if I refuse?" Elias took her chin between his fingers, lifting her face to his. "Then I bury you beside him." Her knees weakened, not from fear but from the intensity in his eyes. It was as if he saw everything, her pain, her fire, her hidden strength, and claimed it as his. She slapped his hand away. "Go to hell." For the first time, Elias actually smiled. "Sweetheart," he said, voice low. "Hell is where I live." His men grabbed her arms. She fought, kicked, bit, but Elias only watched, hands in his pockets, like he was observing an interesting animal. "She has spirit," one of his men muttered. "Spirit?" Elias repeated, eyes still locked on her. "No, she has value." Zuri didn't know it yet, but that night didn't just steal her freedom. It bound her fate to the most dangerous man alive. A man who would break her, a man who would protect her, a man who would drag her into darkness and dare her to survive it. Don't forget to subscribe if you've been having a good time. The safe house smelled of leather and gun oil. Zuri woke on cold concrete, wrists zip-tied, head throbbing. The room was industrial. Exposed pipes, a single bulb swinging overhead, shadows dancing like ghosts. She wasn't alone. Elias sat across from her in a steel chair, perfectly still, watching her with the patience of a predator who knew his prey had nowhere to run. "You're awake," he said. Not a question, an observation. Zuri's throat burned. "Where am I?" "Somewhere safe." "Safe?" She laughed bitterly. "You killed my father." "Your father," Elias corrected, leaning forward, "stole $3 million from the circle. He knew the consequences." Her chest tightened. "You're lying." Elias pulled out a phone, swiped, turned it toward her. Bank statements, wire transfers, dates and amounts in cold, damning numbers. Her father's signature. The air left her lungs. "No! He wasn't the man you thought he was." Elias's voice was almost gentle. Almost. "He gambled. He borrowed. He ran. And when we came to collect, he pulled a gun on my men." Tears burned her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. "So what now? You own me." Elias stood, moving closer, every step deliberate. "You're going to help me recover what he took. There's still 1.2 million unaccounted for. You're going to find it." "I don't know anything about his business." He crouched before her, eye level, close enough that she could see the faint scar along his jawline. Then you'll learn. His hand reached out, she flinched, but he only cut the zip ties with a knife that appeared from nowhere. Her wrists throbbed with restored circulation. You have two choices, Elias said, standing. Work with me and survive. Or run. And I promise you won't make it past sunrise. Zuri rubbed her wrists, mind racing. Why not just kill me and take whatever I have? For the first time, something flickered in his eyes. Something almost human. Because I don't waste potential. 3 days later, Zuri stood in Elias's penthouse. A glass fortress overlooking Nairobi's glittering skyline. Luxury and violence intertwined. Art on the walls. Weapons in hidden compartments. She'd been given a room. Clothes. Freedom within the cage. But Elias was always there. Watching. Waiting. Your father kept records, he said one night, sliding a laptop across the table. Encrypted files. You're going to crack them. I'm not a hacker. You're a data analyst. Mitroput. Top of your class before you came back to care for him. He tilted his head. Don't play weak when we both know you're not. Heat flushed her cheeks. Not from embarrassment. From anger that he'd researched her. Knew her. She opened the laptop. Hours blurred. Lines of code. Hidden folders. Her father's digital ghost. And then she found it. A ledger. Transactions. Names she recognized. Politicians. Police chiefs. Businessmen. Her stomach turned. He wasn't just stealing from you, she whispered. He was laundering money for half the government. Elias appeared behind her, silent as smoke. Now you see why we couldn't let him live. She spun in her chair, pulse hammering. You didn't kill him for the money. You killed him because he was a liability. Elias's expression remained unreadable. In my world, there's no difference. Zuri stood, facing him fully for the first time without fear. Then your world is broken. He stepped closer, too close. And yet, here you are, in it. The air between them crackled. She should hate him. She did hate him. But the way he looked at her, like she was a puzzle he wanted to solve, a weapon he wanted to wield, ignited something dangerous inside her. Why me? She breathed. You could have hired anyone. Elias's hand rose, fingers barely grazing her jaw. Because you have something money can't buy. What? His eyes held hers, storm gray and infinite. Motive. The break-in happened at 3 a.m. Zuri woke to gunfire. Elias was already moving. Gun in hand, shirtless, lethal. Barking orders into a comm device as his men flooded the penthouse. Stay down, he commanded. But Zuri had never been good at following orders. She grabbed a fallen weapon, checked the clip like her father had taught her years ago, and moved toward the hallway. 3 men in black tactical gear. Not Elias's. Rivals. The first one spotted her, raised his gun. Elias appeared from the shadows and dropped him with a single shot. Their eyes met across the chaos. For a moment, the world stopped. Then he was pulling her into a side room, locking the door, checking her for injuries with hands that were surprisingly gentle. Are you hurt? No. Her voice shook. Who? The Scorpion Syndicate. They know about the ledger. His jaw tightened. Someone talked. Zuri's blood ran cold. You think I? No. His answer was immediate, certain. But someone in my circle did. The revelation hung heavy. Elias trusted her. Killer. Criminal. A man soaked in blood. And somehow, impossibly, she was starting to trust him back. They fled to a secondary location. An abandoned warehouse on the city's edge. Rain hammered the metal roof as Elias paced. Phone pressed to his ear, coordinating his scattered forces. Zuri sat on a crate watching him. You could have left me behind, she said quietly when he hung up. Elias stopped, turned. No, I couldn't. Why? He crossed to her, each step heavy with unspoken words. Because somewhere between your defiance and your brilliance, you became more than an asset. Her heart stumbled. Elias! He knelt before her, hands on either side of the crate, caging her in. I've killed men for less than looking at me wrong. I've burned entire operations to ash. I don't do mercy. I don't do sentiment. His forehead nearly touched hers. But you make me want to. Zuri's breath hitched. This was insanity. He'd murdered her father, stolen her freedom, dragged her into a war she never asked for. But in his eyes, she saw something she recognized. The same brokenness that lived in her. This is wrong, she whispered. I know. We'll destroy each other. Probably. Then why? He kissed her. Not gentle. Not asking permission. A collision of desperation and danger and something that felt horrifyingly like fate. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Elias rested his forehead against hers. Because some debts, he murmured, are worth paying. The final confrontation came at dawn. The Scorpion Syndicate's leader, a man called Dmitri, wanted the ledger, wanted Elias's territory, wanted blood. They met in neutral ground. An abandoned port, shipping containers stacked like a metal maze. Elias brought 5 men. Dmitri brought 20. Zuri stood beside Elias, the ledger's data copied onto a drive in her pocket. Last chance, Dmitri called across the space. The Russian accent is thick. Give me the girl and the files. Walk away. Elias didn't move. The girl, he said, voice carrying like a blade, isn't mine to give. He glanced at Zuri. Your choice. Everyone stared. She could run, disappear, start over, or she could stay, fight, embrace the darkness. Zuri stepped forward. The ledger gets released to every news outlet in the country, she announced. Every name, every crime. You come after us, the whole system burns. Dmitri's face darkened. You're bluffing. She smiled, cold, dangerous, learned from the man beside her. Try me. For a long moment, no one moved. Then Dmitri laughed. You've made her into you, Kage. How poetic. He signaled his men to stand down. This isn't over. It never is, Elias replied. As Dmitri retreated, Elias took Zuri's hand. You realize what you just did? Started a war? Became untouchable. She looked at their intertwined fingers. Blood and ink, light and shadow. Is this what you wanted? For me to become like you? Elias pulled her close, voice low against her ear. No. I wanted you to become better than me. 6 months later, Zuri ran the Circle's intelligence division. Her father's ledger had brought down 3 cabinet ministers and a police commissioner. The balance of power had shifted. She'd become the thing she swore she'd never be. And somehow, she'd never felt more alive. Elias found her on the penthouse balcony, city lights sprawling below like fallen stars. Regrets? He asked, handing her a glass of wine. She considered the question. Her father was gone. Her old life, ashes. But she'd discovered a strength she never knew existed. No, she answered. You. Elias looked at her with those storm-gray eyes that once terrified her, now familiar as breathing. Only that it took your father's mistake for me to find you. She leaned into him, his arm wrapping around her waist. Some debts, she murmured, echoing his words, are worth paying. Below them, the city hummed with secrets and sins. And somewhere in the darkness, 2 broken souls had found something neither expected. Not redemption, not salvation, but something infinitely more dangerous. Each other. In the world of shadows, love isn't a weakness. It's the deadliest weapon of all. Kindly subscribe, like and share to enjoy more fascinating stories like this. It's your love that makes us grow. See you in our next video.